Hey, all right. 12, 13 viewers, two hellos. Not surprising right now. Hey, everybody. Hey, Sandy, Danny, Jenny. Just wanted to jump on. This will be short. Hey, Wade, how are you? Hey, Facebook user, cannot see who you are. Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook to allow that. Mr. Michael Castron, the man himself, um, part of it, a big part of the discussion here today, which will be short. Hey, Kaylee. All right, so the elephant in the room, folks. Woke up to a couple of comments on an upcoming interview with Michael Castro. Not surprised, but maybe also a little bit surprised. Seems there's some misunderstandings in exactly what the show's intent is or what it's all about. I've responded, but I'm a firm believer that, hey, Stacy, how are you? Um, text-based responses are never really, they're never really fulfilling. They never get the true intent across, and they can be read however they want to be read. So for those that don't know or don't know, they're like, what the hell's Rob talking about? Monday night, Michael Castro will be interviewed by Paranormally Blonde, of which I am the producer, which is why I can talk about this. But Mike's also a friend of mine, and I'll be on the show as well. We have history, right? Mike and I started out not on the right foot. For those that don't know, you should know that. Mike and I probably, hey, Sarah's here. Mike and I probably, I'm glad now that I know the man can actually fight, but I probably would have fought him in the beginning of when we met. So, two of the comments on his post, on the post about his upcoming interview, concern me. And they're not fair to Mike, to the interviewers, to the community as a whole, because to me, they're an indicative part of another piece of the underlying problem that we have. So just to be clear, Mike right now is sort of, also a victim in, the background subterfuge of people passing information along unfounded. And it's just not fair, right? So I think the reactions that I've seen so far, and let's be clear, one person that commented literally joined the network today to leave a comment that is kind of full of assumptions. It wasn't terrible, but there were some assumptions made there. And then another comment as well. I find it really, really interesting because, well, I'll get into that later. But these comments, they concern me because it paints a really inaccurate story about everything here. What the network's about, what this whole call out movement is about. And I've been clear on other shows in the past about how this is a double-edged sword, right? If you don't know Mike's story, come watch it Monday night. It might break your heart. But the man's been through some things, and big things. And probably, and it's why I'm excited to talk to him Monday. It's probably shaped who he has become as a human being, as an investigator, as a friend. Doesn't mean that he's, not made mistakes in his past. I mean, I think we got tangled up in something based on something that I probably, would guess that Mike it's not his proudest moment. But all of that aside, let's think about what's happening, right? And if we talk about these two comments about how this is bad timing and the context isn't there, it's actually perfect timing, if you ask me. And I think Get Haunted, the paranormal podcast program, Paranormally Blind, have always been there to give the stage and the microphone to opposing or alternate viewpoints or all viewpoints. It's what we kind of that we pride ourselves on. So, let's go back a few weeks to Matt Warner's show, Unpopular Opinion, where he talks about the call outs and yeah, I believe that in some cases they need to happen, right? But they need to be factual and they need to be accurate. At the same point, right? And for those watching, if you're watching just to report back to your friends, that's cool. We'll address that later. But these things need to be factual. So, Matt's show talked about that. Now here's Mike going through something similar to other things, right? And this is something that I think it really worries me, because to me it feels like that there's this handful of people that are sitting out there looking for opportunities to go out and stir more shit. Some of them being I'm guessing, I got a really, really strong feeling here that there are people that don't like me very much, right? So now we throw Mike, Rob together potentially on a show, and Sarah. And oh God, this is fodder. This is perfect for them. So context. I'm sorry if people didn't feel that the description of the show was fair enough. We didn't write it for you. It was written for Mike's particular instance. Some of the articles that I've seen pushed around about Mike, if you actually read it, and if you actually knew the guy, it wouldn't have been a topic, right? But then somebody drops this crumb. It's I think of my dog. Somebody drops a crumb and then he grabs it and runs, and that's all he fucking cares about. So now, they see this show and they're going to run with this narrative that it's something bigger, and they're going to try to destroy Mike. They're going to push around some things that are from his past, which he'll talk about. I'm not going to talk about that, but he'll talk about these things on Monday. Like I said, one person actually joined the network today to comment on it. And again, it wasn't horrible, but it was, in my mind, unfair. Another person who never comments, doesn't really participate, had a lot to say this morning. And that becomes the kindling, right? That becomes the kindling for the rest of the community to go out there and start doing what they do. Love me, love Mike, hate Mike, love Sarah, hate Sarah. We will not be censored by opportunistic people. And I'm not saying the commenters are those people. The commenters, I think, are the people that have the platforms to talk, right? And then these other folks who want to work in the shadows will go and feed them information. This is how I view it. Not long ago, we talked about how the gloves are going to come off, and in the past we've sat on it. Here's the truth, folks. Let's go back to earlier this year. And this is a perfect example, and it's indicative of the problem that I'm seeing happen with Mike. So if you want to know why I'm sympathetic, here's why. It's kind of how we met, too. There was a guy that made a video about me, my company, that Get Haunted was the shell company for, coincidentally enough, Ghost Hunts USA, which is one of the things that this guy sort of brags about helping people recover from. More to say about that. But somebody made a video and that went out there and that got spread like wildfire, like to the point where it crippled me. Like I hit the floor that morning. Podcast, sharing it out. And it's not okay. None of it, not a single piece of that was true. Did I used to work for them? Yep. Guess what? I help people get their money back too. I just don't talk about it. Guess what? I was burned for a lot of money. Don't really talk about that either. But this video was designed to destroy me and my business. I was fortunate in the fact that the creator of that video decided, I reached out to him. He decided to come on and talk on a live, which he didn't have to do. I mean, he did. He took a little bit of a beating from the people watching, which I did feel bad for. But at the end of the day, there was an apology and the video came down. And that was that. I also pride myself, and I'll speak for Sarah here. Every single Wednesday, we are live, and we've offered people opportunities to come and talk. Now, I know Monday night show might be, oh, by the way, nobody ever has. Not a single person has ever really taken us up on that, except for this one guy that made that video. And I commend him for that. He probably still doesn't like me, but that's fine. So Monday night, you know, as Mike's being interviewed, you have comments, you're more than welcome to comment. Use your real name. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't use your real name and you want to work in the shadows like a ninja, then your comment will be deleted and you'll be banned from the show, whatever we can do as moderators. But it's time really to have open and honest talks. So what I see happening to Mike today, whether you like him or hate him, is very similar to what I saw happening to me. To me, there's no coincidence that his show, I'll put his comment up here. I just thought that his magazine is starting to work out. Now, what's happening? Is there this little building somewhere that I don't know about that people sit in and they're like, okay, it's like TMZ to me. Okay, who are we gonna beat up this week? It baffles me, but Mike is a friend of mine. I believe I can speak for Sarah there. And if our friend's hurting, just like we'd give this platform to anybody else, and if he has a story, especially one that's as big as his, and if you look closely, people, at the banner, you'll see him in handcuffs. You know, it's a big part of his story. Again, I don't know what else to say, but I am not going to apologize for, and neither will Sarah, for scheduling a show that happens to maybe contradict with your agenda or something you're working on. Mike's story is just as important as other people's stories, because he too is a victim and I will not allow him to be back burner. And if he feels comfortable enough to talk with us, you know, my understanding is the one and only time, then we will talk with him. So I'm sorry if that doesn't work for you. If it has anything to do with anything other than that, then you know how to reach me, you know how to message me. It's really, really easy. It's really easy. So I just ask that people stop for a minute and breathe before you run with a ball or a hot coal that's been handed you. Think about why the person that's bringing this piece of information to you doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to share it publicly. There are people that constantly are in the background watching. I'm sure one of them is right now, looking for that little crumb to fall to the floor. So, yeah, does it suck waking up to, you know, messages that are, you know, or to comments that aren't like the greatest in the world? Yeah, I'm kind of over all of that. The show is going to happen. It just is. You know, we'll take it to a whole nother level on some other things, maybe on the show, but you know, to beat up on a show or to beat up on the host or to beat up on Mike without a single word having been said, it just is not fair, folks. It just isn't fair. Let's see. Am I getting any hate mail here? We can talk about it live. No. Hey, Courtney. So take a breath. Don't be a lemming. Don't be a penguin. Don't be a part of the perpetual hate that's being spread in this. Sarah and I have sat with our mouths shut for the most part for a long, long time. You know, vicious attacks on personal attacks on Sarah. Where's everybody? You know, where's everybody getting this from? Why is this all okay all of a sudden to get out there and hurt people? So the double-edged sword that we have spoken about, I have spoken about publicly, exists, folks. Exists. Doesn't mean you get to wield it whenever you want. On one hand, it's absolutely okay. You know, somebody's been wronged and you can prove it, go do it. Doesn't mean we silence other victims because it's in the way of that story. Sorry, doesn't work for me. You'll never convince me of that. So I'm not hard to find, folks. My phone number's out there. It's all out there. My email's out there. I just ask that you all breathe before a single word was uttered. Stop that shit in its tracks. But more importantly, right, the underlying problem is this network of people that are just pushing out dirt. And then people run with it. And then they'll make public comments and then they'll do this or that. Just know what you're talking about. That's all I'm asking. So, yeah, I mean, if anybody has a question on the side, if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, good. I love you for that. Because you shouldn't, and it means you're not a part of it. But for the folks, especially Cody, right? I'm not calling you out in a negative way. You joined the network today simply to make a comment about this. I don't see the value in that. I just don't. So if that's how you want to do it, then do it. But I encourage everybody to come to the show. I encourage everybody to listen to Mike's story. I encourage everybody to understand what truly happened to this man. And that is the missing context, I guess, is Mike went through some serious stuff and it's being used against him now. Long after, you know, trials and judges and victories and sadly some major personal defeats for him. But why now? You have to ask yourself that question. I did. I'm telling you. So please, folks, don't read into it. Not yet. Go listen to the show. Go hear what he has to say. Go hear what we have to say. I'm sure there are going to be questions from me, Mike. If you're still watching, get ready. You know, there'll be questions that come his way that might make him squirm a little. I don't know. It's just going to be a natural, open, and honest conversation. But we don't get to beat everybody up, folks. You don't get to. Not this way. And certainly not on the Get Haunted Network. So if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say it, please. We won't delete anything unless it's vile. But I just ask that you guys breathe before. This mindset is crazy to me. Whatever happened with 3 other people, that this week, last week, whenever it was, honestly, I don't spend time thinking about it, folks. It's just not my game. And this show literally has nothing to do with it. So please, just be smart about all of this and give actual open and honest dialogue a chance. We did it with Matt, and we're going to do this with Danger, Mike. We're going to do it with anybody that wants to talk about these kind of things. You cannot just run with something. You know, here's the thing. The one article I was handed, fucking, he's found it, there's nothing in it that is incriminating or makes Mike sound bad. Yet this was, somebody grabbed it and they're pushing this shit out there. So let's stop always looking at the subject and start looking at where it's coming from and why. Yeah, and Sarah makes a really good point here. And that is exactly, some of the big problems we face this year. Or stem from kind of personal issues with people and me, especially. I don't know who this guy is. Boo, lol, hey, brother. What's up, man? Whoever you are. So just be smart, be kind. Let's see what Maria's got to say. More successful you are, the more you get. You will get attacked. Marketing, destroying competition. Been down that road. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Feeding narcissistic needs, jealousy, all that. That's respect. And really know you. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate that. Yeah. Sometimes though, the energy, like we can't avoid the energy, right? The attention. We're doing this show. Mike deserves to have his voice heard. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. Do I worry there's going to be stupid comments on the side? Yeah, of course. But that's not going to stop me, and it's not going to let us allow Mike and his story around what happened to him, and the justice system, right? Which does need to be in place. Otherwise, what the hell, man? What are we doing as a society? But we will not let personal things become censorship or intimidation or fear tactics from people that choose to work in the shadows. It's just not going to happen. So that show will be on every Wednesday. You can find us right here. I have email. I have a cell phone. It's not hard to find. So if you have questions and concerns, reach out before reacting. Look, I get told this a lot. I'm a reactor. I know I am. And it always works out better if I just stop and breathe and think about things before I react. That's all I'm asking for. After Monday, Tuesday, you want to go on a rampage, go for it. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody wants to. See, this is the big difference, right? And it's funny because there's an old tattoo saying, the only people that really hate tattoos are people that don't have tattoos. I guess it makes sense. That's common sense, but it's the truth. So folks, just be kind, be smart. Think about your comments, think about your reactions, think about why something may need to happen. I think on the surface, right? And if the context wasn't there in the written form, I'm sorry. Again, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that the reaction was what it was. But there are reasons for everything. Everything happens for a reason. So, yes, Mike needs a voice, Courtney. And he has one, right? But again, I look at timing. I look at Mike's now, his face is out there. The magazine's doing well. Is this an opportunistic moment? I believe it might be. And it gets compounded because we're on the freaking in the magazine this time, right? And I know some people that don't exactly love me. So you got to look at all of that, right? When someone hands you this document, oh my God, look at this document. Ask yourself, why are they even bringing it to you? Why is this information important for them to hand to you instead of actually running with it themselves? That's what I'm going to ask to the community, because guess you might be being used yourself, folks. That is sad, right? We've seen it. We've had people come to us with problems. And I talked about this on Matt's show. There's not much we can do, right? If you're not willing to stand up and talk about things, how do we help you? So I ask again for the one and final time. I said that I'd keep this short. I tried doing a pre-recorded video, but now you know why I didn't. Nobody's going to get stifled. I won't do it. I'll go down in flames for my friends and standing up for things um, that we truly believe in. And Mike has absolutely helped us get there, especially with this article. You know, even with our trials and tribulations, over the past year. But yeah, um, and because of that, I have the ability to sit here and confidently tell you guys that um, we're going to move forward how in whatever way that we want to move forward with. Um, and we will not let the loud minority of the community um, throw shade at people, if that makes sense. So that's that. That's all I really got. So I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to see any more comments. I have so much shit to do today. Um, I don't feel like taking time to respond to them all. I don't know what 619 is. And yes, I know this is all positive. None of this is taking away from me. What I wanted to do was have people hear me rather than read my words because I know how I can sound, right? 600. That's right. I have 619 views, people. That's huge. Well, Get Haunted does. It's not just about me. Um, 619. Yeah, again, price. Probably some of them are the people that don't like me. That's fine. I'm glad they're reading about it. Yes, Stacy, social media can suck, but it can also be a beautiful thing. There are at least, I'm going to guess what, 28 watching right now. I'm going to say 25 people that actually love us on here. Um, yeah, hold on. Because this does kind of come down to um, Sarah and her show, right? It's Paranormally Blonde. Mike was kind enough to give her the exclusive. And she should be. Sarah is one of the most talented people I've ever worked with. She brought Get Haunted from minimal views to, I think over 250,000, almost a little over 300,000 views just this year. It wouldn't be what it is without her hard work. And from the very first time I ever went on her show, it is so different than most shows, and it's compelling, and it gives people a chance to talk and be heard and be seen. And it's not always about celebrity; it's about everybody, which kind of matched with what Get Haunted was supposed to be about from the very get-go. So you should be proud of your work, Sarah, and I think most people are. Um, so there you go. And she's proud of the upcoming show, as am I. So it's not going anywhere. I'm sorry if it doesn't fit everybody's agenda, but that's the way this is going to go. So at 29 minutes and 52 seconds, that's all I'm going to say about it. And if anybody has more to comment about, I'll just refer them back to this live. So just go out there and be nice. Do your homework. If you want to be a detective, do it right. Read the articles that you want to forward to people. That's a really good start. If you have a question about a show title or description, ask before blasting publicly. Like, it's real easy. It's real easy. Just don't ever question anything I say or my 619, which might be 620 views right now. I'm just kidding. That's it, my friends. Thank you for hearing me. Get Haunted's coming in 2024 to kick some more paranormal butt. Thank you again to Mike Castro and April for having us in the magazine. That has been a tremendous help. But it is not why we're doing the show Monday. This was this needed to happen, I think, because I know because I had been handed some information as well. And we're going to continue doing what we do. And love us or hate us. That's the way it's going to be. There's this field, by and large, is full of just some really amazing people. Let's not let the handful of troublemakers, is that the right word? It's a nice word. Let's not let a handful of troublemakers turn into a shit show. That's all I'm going to ask. So with that, I'm going to go back to making shirts. I'm hoping my hunts for the homeless hoodies are done today. There's been a minor delay in that with the production company, but I'm gonna go take a look there and see what happens. But that's where we need to be spending our time, folks, on helping others and growing the community and making awareness, not on beating up people that have already taken a massive beating. So you'll learn more about that Monday. So with that, peace out. Here comes the text messages. Don't know what I did. Yeah, Courtney. Sadly, but it is. It's not just the paranormal. It's everything about that. Thank you guys. To my friends on the side, I love you. Sarah, I'm hoping you're enjoying your day with your daughters, and you keep doing Paranormally Blonde the way you do Paranormally Blonde. And Mike, thank you, sir, for giving us the opportunity to hear your story and share it with the world, because we do believe it's important. And your voice matters too, no matter what. So with that, I'm going to spray myself with some flammable Florida water. It's not flammable. I tried to burn it last night. I think it doesn't work. I'm going to go about my day now and get back to actually trying to do the right thing here. So love y'all. Have a nice day. I will leave you with a little music. How about that? I'll leave you with 2 minutes of music, then I'm going to shut this thing down. American Grim, check them out. Love this.